Welcome to my Dragon Ball Diaries. You may be like, what the heck is that? If you're new here, my name is Amber. The most important thing you should know about me, though, is that I am Krillin's #1 fan. And the second thing is that I have become a new and obsessed Dragon Ball fan. It has been terrible, but also wonderful. I have had the best adventure going with this group of amazing individuals. They've changed my life. They've ruined my life. It's been a time. We started with OG Dragon Ball, and we are now on Dragon Ball Z. I know it's all Dragon Ball, guys. I know. Just work with me here. We are in the Saiyan saga. These videos cover my extended thoughts after I do my short form content. So basically, as I'm reading a volume, I will have a thought and I will say that thought to people. And sometimes it's a mess, and sometimes it's happy, and sometimes it's very, very angry. And I did some long form videos initially, but I decided that instead of doing it like arc by arc, I wanted to go through the volumes as I'm reading them, because once I'm done, and I've been doing this since OG Dragon Ball, a lot of the time I'll reread a volume because they're so freaking good. So basically, after I reread each volume, or just immediately after I read a volume, I will come and give you thoughts that maybe I didn't give in the short form content, or it's not really a structure. It's a diary. It's a diary of my thoughts and how much I love this story, even when it really upsets me. So yeah, we are 3 volumes in. I'm gonna be quiet now so you can watch that Amber, and then this Amber will finish off the video. Talk to you soon. Oh my gosh, guys. Welcome to our first Dragon Ball entry. I did reread volume 1 thinking that, maybe it wouldn't affect me as much and I would go into it more so trying to pick up on things I didn't catch, because half the time I was just an emotional mess and it was worse. I cannot fathom that I went through all of OG Dragon Ball watching my sweet little Goku and Krillin, because Krillin is the best, along with Goku, but watching my sweet little Krillin and Goku growing up, and just seeing Goku go from not knowing much and being alone because his grandpa died to all this great stuff, and him winning the tournament to him being dead. And it was definitely due in part to the hands of his terrible brother. Now, I know Piccolo did it, but if his annoying, deceitful, stupid brother hadn't have, tried to take his son and kill him, we wouldn't be in this position. So I'm filled with a lot of anger and even more sadness than I thought. Goku having a son will forever take me out. Like, what do you mean? Goku has a son, and then his name is Gohan, and then he has a little hat that is, has the ball from old Gohan, Grandpa Gohan. Just Goku having a son. I'm still dealing with Goku being a little bitty kid with this little... And he has a son. He has a son and a brother who is just terrible. He is an alien, okay? His name is, what was his name? Kakarot. His name is Kakarot. I don't understand. And it seemed like we had so much peace because this is 5 years after the events had happened in OG Dragon Ball. Everybody was doing well, and we got to see Krillin and Bulma and Master Roshi. And it was just lovely, and everything changes. I will say, it still is so... enticing. You're still so wrapped up into this world. And it is sad as it is a little bit, seeing all these changes and having to pick it up really fast with all the craziness surrounding it. It's so cool seeing all these characters that we dealt with now in this whole different situation. And it's so much that's out of our control, and watching them navigate that and seeing little things come into play. Like whenever we see that Goku and Piccolo were wearing the extra weights and everything. Okay. Can we talk about Piccolo and Goku? Their dynamic is phenomenal. And just to think where we came from with King Piccolo, and then he's this reincarnated Piccolo, and I just despised him. I did. I think deep down, when I saw little bitty baby Piccolo after King Piccolo was like, take over the world, there was a small part that was hopeful, right? Because he's technically not as much as the King Piccolo. But did I expect this? Did I expect us to have them not only work together, because obviously Raditz is trying to take over and Piccolo's not going to let that happen because he wants to take over, and Goku's not going to let that happen because his son and his friends and just who he is as a person. But to see them like their their chemistry, Their chemistry together is phenomenal. And they're both so cool in their own different ways, but it's like the same equal amount of cool. The dynamic of Goku being a bit more talkative and positive, and Piccolo being straight to the point, but also his own form of positive in this like nobody beats Piccolo because I'm Piccolo, you know, but also not really. It's not even like that. It's like he just knows who he is, but they're both also super honest when they realize like this guy is tough, you know, but they still stand on their business, and it's great until it's not, but it's kind of always great. That's what's so trippy about this volume. By the way, I love that it's white. We see Raditz and how strong he is, and he can tell how strong they are, and you know, there's this feeling of doom, but also like watching our boys just take it on head on. First of all, when Raditz obviously gives all these reveals, that's a lot, right? But when he takes Gohan, let's talk about Gohan for a second, because I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little, okay, you can't look at that kid and not be like, he is adorable, okay? But I was like, what? I'm still wanting more Goku. Now we have his kid, and I'm sure his kid will be a big deal, even though Goku says Chi-Chi did not want him, which Goku is still with Chi-Chi. What a loyal guy, huh? Like, he really didn't have to be that loyal, but he took his promise. Well, she took the promise that he made her as a kid very serious, and then he did the same, and, you know, he's being very loyal. But yeah, Chi-Chi didn't want him to do anything. I still knew, though, when Goku said he could see something in him, that he would have a part, but I was like, I just didn't know how to process it. But of course, seeing Gohan the minute he started crying when Raditz took him, which was just so, seeing Goku as a dad and watching his son and knowing the kind of person Goku was and seeing him being taken, but his son crying, I already kind of loved him because he wears his heart on his sleeve, and it looks like his emotions control, you know, how strong he gets and all that jazz. So yeah, but okay, I kind of started being like, I'm gonna like this character, even though I'm a little mad that it's not all about Goku and Krillin, and I didn't want Krillin to be out of the mix, but Krillin and Goku, as long as if we keep their friendship intact, there's so many quick little moments with them where I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, Goku though, being ready to fight. Piccolo too, when he was leaning, you know, he was by the side of the house, because it starts with Raditz and Piccolo and this old man who is unfortunately murdered pretty terribly, which is a great way, well, not great, but you know, it's a storytelling great way to let us see that, oh, like the powers that be around us are pretty insane, right? Because King Piccolo was like the biggest thing, and now we have these aliens who are related, or one of them is related to Goku. Piccolo he feels fear, I believe that's what he said. I'll put the panel here, but knowing that Piccolo feels that way, wow. But he also, like I said, him and Goku, no matter what they're feeling, they are going to go handle business. So when we see him by the house and he pops out, I'm like, oh yes, because these guys, their plan, they are trying to, the Saiyans, they're trying to essentially destroy Earth. Their planet was destroyed, and then they're trying to also sell planets as like a business thing. Basically, they want to kill everybody, okay? Goku is a part of this, and they need him because one of the worlds they want to take over, planets, is super strong. But Goku is obviously not about that life. We're processing all like these little quick positive moments or cool moments with Goku and Piccolo, but then it's like the world's gonna end, or his son's gonna die, or Goku's gonna die. Actually, Goku does die, right? Because Piccolo and Goku, they're doing their thing. And let me tell you the worst part about Raditz. The worst part is that not only did Goku get played by him, which I could be mad, but I can never be mad at Goku because he just was trying to believe in his brother, even though he said he would never forgive him. He tried. But what makes me so upset is that I too fell for this, okay? And I didn't fall for him like Goku. I didn't believe that he would change, but I was trying to be understanding of the fact that there was a moment with Gohan where Raditz was like, stop crying after he kidnapped him. He's like, you have the Saiyan blood or something. And I was like, he really doesn't get it. He really has been, wherever he's been at, they really think this. They really put so much into that. So I was trying to have empathy until not only did he betray Goku, but because the first time him and Piccolo, when they had that cool move of Goku grabbing his tail, and so Goku has the tail, and you know what, Goku, you were just, he tried to believe his brother because Piccolo was going to destroy that man. And Goku listens to his brother saying, I'll leave, please don't kill me, I'm your brother. And that betrayal, oh, that's one of the worst betrayals. I know they just met, okay? So I know there's not that much loyalty, but dang, it still feels like it. This story allows you to feel everything you need to feel so fast, so the effect is still there, you know? But it was something that he said that just It was done. It was over. I was livid, and I hate that man. I had to look it up. But it was one thing for him to say a true Saiyan will kill anybody, including his brother. But when he said, no hurry, brother, suffer more, I was like, oh, yeah, it's over. It is over. Suffer more? That's just evil. And I was broken watching him crush Goku's ribs. And it's so hard because right before that, we had so many cool moments. Even when Goku and Piccolo, it seemed like they were losing, just watching their banter and watching, when Piccolo lost his arm. Oh my gosh, they were just so cool. And he's like, he has one move he can do. And when he told Goku, did you learn anything? And he's like, oh, and Goku's like, I don't have any other moves. I'm sorry. And Piccolo's like, of course, you were always lazy, but I still have one. Those two working together, Goku getting beat up to distract Raditz or allow Piccolo to be able to charge up. And he does his, the Light of Death? And he almost gets him, but Raditz is so fast because these people are crazy. Yeah, it's called the Light of Death. And it would have destroyed him because the one little tiny spark of it that hit him, I did slice his armor and I think he got cut kind of deep, but it didn't hit him. So we have all this great stuff. Again, I love when they both took off their extra weights. They just, I don't know, they were so cool. And then this happens, and when Gohan comes out, because we have, and I noticed it more on my reread, we have Goku just screaming when his brother is crushing his ribs and doing all this. And I would also think that maybe, I hope not, but maybe it's part of the betrayal. Probably not. Probably just really is in pain, but it's just all so ugly. Little Gohan comes out and it's so cool but sad, and he's like, you hurt my daddy. But we could also tell how strong he is. But it looks like I said, it's due to his emotions or based on his emotions. So that's going to be interesting. And when we see his power going up, it's not funny, but when he does hit Raditz, he actually injures him pretty well. And I didn't realize until my reread just how much he hurt him, because that's how Goku was able to grab him right before he died. But probably because I was so upset that he died, I didn't pick up on that. But anyway, when Gohan hits him, Gohan's power drops and Raditz gets him or hits him again. The panel they have of poor Gohan, I was like, they didn't have to make Gohan look like that. But, oh, poor little sweet thing. So he's knocked out. But once Gohan is hit, it gives Goku, I don't know if he was holding on the energy or it gave him extra energy, but he grabs Raditz, and I'm like, yes. And then I am not like, yes, because I realize that he needs Piccolo to hit Raditz, but he has to hold on to him, which means Goku will get hit. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. There was, in fact, a way. And it's so strange because in this moment, you have Piccolo, who now we're growing to really, really like. And you have Goku, and they're slowly kind of building a friendship despite, I don't care how much Piccolo says he's going to kill Goku. And when this is all done, he's going to get him. You can feel that. And even there's a moment where Piccolo tells him, like, I'm going to have to kill you. But he thinks to himself, but his friends will have the Dragon Ball. So you can tell it's such a small, quick moment, but it's like you can tell Piccolo kind of wants that to happen. But yeah, you're wanting Piccolo to kill him. It's so cool. But then you're like, Goku will be dead. And I was thinking that maybe something would stop it. But not only did it not stop, the way he was killed, a hole in his body, and he just takes it. And Raditz is like, you're going to die too. And he's like, hey, if that means getting rid of you and saving everybody, then good. I'm like, no, but also he saved them. And I'm crushed. I am crushed. I just spent volume after volume with Goku, watching him grow up, and to see this little boy who I've grown to just admire and love and adore be killed by somebody who was his enemy and is now becoming his friend. It's crazy. And trying to save his son. And the idea of his son who's going to have to wake up and see this. There's so much, but also he saved everybody. And Piccolo, the man that you are, when Raditz was feeling all, at first I was kind of like, why did he tell Raditz that Goku was going to come back to life? But I think it's because he was tired of Raditz's mouth, and he's like, you're going to be dead and Goku's going to be alive because we have these Dragon Balls. So I kind of like it. But then Raditz says he's going to tell the other two guys who are stronger than him, apparently, and they'll bring him back to life. They are not. They could care less. They're a brutal group of people. Piccolo, I noticed it when I first read it, but I really saw it this time whenever Raditz says the transient joys are the sweetest. Just ask your fellow insects, because he says that because he knows that the people won't come until a year, his guy. So he's like, you have a year to enjoy life. And Piccolo, the way he throws or kills or jumps on that man and destroys him. That's right, Piccolo. It's so great. It's so cool. It's so weird though, because then it's just just the most tragic scene right after we see the other two guys coming. And they're not worried about Raditz. They want the Dragon Balls though, because they have a lot of interesting communication things, like how they can see power or, you know, tell people's power. And also he could tell that Raditz died and he learned about the Dragon Balls. So they're on their way. And it looks like they said it's going to be a year and they're going to be asleep, I guess, until then. But watching Goku and Krillin and Bulma and I mean, it's just not, it's not it. It's not it. It's beautiful at the same time, but Krillin and Goku being together, I just can't. Even seeing Piccolo there telling them what happened. And Goku says, I'm glad you won't get yelled at by Chi-Chi to Bulma because Gohan's okay. He's just knocked out. And then I've said this in the shorts, but I gotta say it again. He says, Krillin, dying sucks, don't it? Don't talk like that, Krillin says. We'll bring you back. And then Goku is like, thanks. And then he disappears, which is so cool because it's Kami-sama who took him, but I am just broken at that point. And I bawled again like a little baby when I reread this. It's just so good. It's so good. I hate how much I love this. But that's the entry. I know I was probably all over the place. I'm sorry. But it's just the name of the game when you are a very crazy Dragon Ball fan. And that's volume 1. This video will cover, I believe, the first 3 volumes. I love you, Goku, and all our people, and you'll be okay. You better be okay. Okay, bye, guys. Dear Dragon Ball Diary, volume 2. It was so good on the reread. It was so good before, but it's insane how much more you pick up when you're not so stressed out about what's going to happen next. This portion is basically the training and the beginning of the Saiyan fight with Vegeta and Nappa. Biggest haters of those two, by the way. Oh my gosh, shall we see Piccolo training Gohan? The best. I wish it was slightly longer. I do, but it felt a little longer on the reread because when I was first reading it, I was laughing and crying. It was just so sweet for so many ways. And Goku, man, Goku's just amazing. Training with the Lord of Worlds. The Lord of Worlds is... He is wonderfully amazing and ridiculous. And gosh, the fight, the start of the fight when everybody pops in, it's so good. It is so good. And ending with Krillin being so upset. Well, technically we end terribly with Yamcha. I have to let my happiness do its happy thing so I don't wallow in sorrow, right? Because that's just terrible. And you guys say that this is a meme? I don't understand what's happening there. Gohan and Piccolo, this duo, I will never get over how fantastic and brilliant it was to bring those two together. Man, you know, at first I really wanted a Krillin and Gohan moment, but I love it. I love the Piccolo thing. And we do get to see Gohan and Krillin's relationship slowly starting to form in a matter of seconds. That's also what's so crazy. And I will continue to say this about Dragon Ball, how quickly we meet people and fall in love and then have to like get into a mode where we may lose them. It's insane. But that's what's so interesting about Gohan because yes, he's been adorable. But like I said, I think I said in the other clip that I was a little confused or hesitant about how I felt when it comes to Gohan just because I wanted so much Goku. But the fact that we've just really met Gohan, right? You fall in love with him and then you fall in love with the relationship with him and Piccolo. And there's also just this thing of wanting to protect him. And why wouldn't you? This little bitty baby, he's 4, he's a baby. He just lost his dad. He's training with a guy who he doesn't know who seems insane, and his mom, he doesn't get to see her, and he just wanted to be a great scholar, which is so cute. And by the way, also, I really like seeing the difference between Goku and Gohan's childhood. Now, obviously, Gohan's childhood is changing tremendously in a matter of moments, but he was raised so in such a beautiful way by Chi-Chi and Goku. When he was telling Piccolo, because Piccolo's training is like, you little 4-year-old, you're going to go off and be alone for 6 months, okay? And you're not going to have your mom. Your dad just died. And you're going to have to fend for yourself. He went from that to like having his dumplings. When he said he wanted his dim sum, I could not. Because now he has to get his own food. And he was like, what about a bed? And when he said that he would die of loneliness, oh my heart. Those two love that little boy, and he feels so loved. But also just seeing Goku, us seeing him basically until he saw Bulma or met Bulma living by himself. I mean, his grandpa Gohan was obviously amazing, but he died. And Goku was taking care of himself. To see his son just have all this stuff, and Piccolo's like, what is wrong with you? You are too privileged. I love it, but I love it because it just shows how much Gohan is cared for. And I do love Piccolo's training. It's hard, right? When I first was reading this and just going through it, I'm like, Piccolo, why? You see this kid crying. And Piccolo is, in fact, hilarious the way he talks to him. He's just like, boy, stop the crying. There is a moment too, I think it's after Gohan has been there for 6 months, or I don't know, but he has to live by himself for 6 months, and then Piccolo trains him. But at one point, Piccolo tells him when Gohan's like, I can't do it. I can't. He's like, if you have enough time to complain, you have enough time to train, or something like that. I'll put the panel here, but I'm like, yes. This story changes me. It always makes me recognize how much better I could be doing, in my life. And not in a way because there's still rest. Piccolo, like Master Roshi, kind of has a similar formula, except it's like 3 things: eat, sleep, train. And I love that because there is this element of rest. I've talked about that in my Master Roshi video, why the way he trains affected my life so greatly. And seeing this, it's the same thing. It's like, yes, it's a lot, but you do those principles and you do see Gohan getting better. And on the side of that, we have our Goku. Man, seeing that halo, I said that in one of my shorts, it's tough. It's tough even on the reread. It's just as hard as when I was first reading it, but also Goku just consistently, that line where he realizes that he's got to go to the Lord of Worlds and it's going to be a long journey just to get there. The guy has to do millions and millions of being on this snake dragon thing. He asks the guy, the tour guide or whoever who takes him there, and he wants to know who has done this before. And the guy's like, well, one guy has. I think it was the Lord of the Worlds. And Goku's just like, okay, well, if one guy can do it, I can do it, or another guy can do it. I love that mentality. And when he gets there, the Lord of Worlds, oh, what a breath of fresh air, right? I love how these characters all have their like distinct personalities, despite the fact that there are so many similarities in the grand scheme of we have this common goal. We know a lot of them are going to be very strong or have the ability to be very strong, but they're their own people. Because right before that, we have the main guy. What's his name? Lord Enma. We have Lord Enma, which I don't know why, even though I think they said it in OG Dragon Ball that Kami-sama is a god, but he became a god. Like, anyway, I don't know why I thought that he was like the god. I kind of like that there's levels to this, but I'm still confused on who's like the one. But anyway, the Enma guy who we first meet, who is hilarious when Kami-sama is talking to himself, trying to figure, everything out and if they could win or lose. And he's like, shut up. Your thoughts are too loud. But we first see him and he's like, Goku, you could go to the upper world because Goku's soul and heart is so pure. Do you want to go here and risk, not making it or whatever, go into the underworld? And Goku's like, yeah, I want to go. But I don't know what my point was in bringing him up. But anyway, seeing him and then going to the Lord of Worlds and just this whole little dynamic, it's great. My thoughts are going to be all over the place. There's this panel, and I noticed this a lot when I was rereading all the little things like the souls, like they're like little puffs of souls whenever Goku, we first see him in deciding where he's going to go once he dies. And then also when Goku needs to eat before he is to catch this monkey. Well, he doesn't have to eat. He's actually dead. But he wants to eat, and it's so funny because while he's eating, there's a little monkey who he's supposed to catch, and he's eating a banana. I just love Toriyama throwing in these little moments that, like, it's so insignificant, but significant to just making the story whole, making it fun, making it cute. I love it. But anyway, Goku has this training, and it's hard because trying to catch this monkey while he's with the gravity that's like 10 times more than what we have on Earth. And there's that aspect that him learning these moves, and the main one where he can like throw or catch something and use all this energy to throw it. The one move is called the Genki or Genkai Dama, the spirit ball. And that one's cool. And he can do that, but he says that it could destroy the very planet that he's trying to protect. So be careful with that. And he can only use that once. So, and then there's the Kaioken, and that is another cool move that he has. And also the Saiyans are coming early. they come early, I guess. And Goku now is going to be late. Of course. Why wouldn't he? But he has to travel back on that snake dragon thing. I don't know if it was a snake or a dragon. What was that thing? The serpent. Yeah, but he's faster now and everything. He's so much stronger. And I love how you can tell in just slightly different details in the artwork, but that's stressful, right? However, our boys were training with Kami so much. I love that. Oh my gosh. When Yajirobe pops up, we need to give his character so much credit for being this comedic relief in the midst of the stress. Whenever Krillin says his name wrong, when he comes up, just the way he comes up, he just is at the door and he's like, yo, I say, yo. I don't know why that's hilarious to me. And then he's eating at times. Like we have the cool panel at the end when they're about, well, not the very end, the end of the training arc-ish. And he's just eating while everybody else is looking all cool and intense. Whenever they're done with Kami-sama, he's like, can I take off these weights? I love the weight thing, by the way, with Goku, like I said, with Piccolo and Goku in the last discussion on this. It's just great. But he is hilarious. Then we have Tenshinhan and Yamcha. Rest in peace, my boy. I'm a big Yamcha fan. Okay, so this is devastating. It's devastating. Chaozu and just everybody. Piccolo, obviously, little Gohan. Watching Gohan get stronger. I just hope, I've said this before, that we really get to stay with him while he's little, because I'm just not ready. I'm still not over Goku getting older. And Piccolo, giving him that sword. And no, Piccolo watching over Gohan while he's telling him he has to be by himself. It is so cute. He's just watching from afar, gives him little apples. And that's when Gohan's like, I want dim sum. And Piccolo's, you little brat. But then you see their friendship forming, right? You see whenever Piccolo starts training him after he passes the first test of being on his own and he can, start cutting up animals like Goku. It's also interesting seeing Goku and Gohan's reactions as kids. Goku would be like, all right, when he sees crazy things, Gohan's like, I'm scared. I love how vulnerable he is, not in a way where I want him to be weak, but his honesty about it. But yeah, whenever Gohan's finally done with all that training, and there's this one moment too, again, with the panels where Gohan is making his food because he's learned how to, catch animals or stop them from killing him. And his little sword has the meat from the dragon or whatever, but it looks like a little pan. Love that artwork detail. There's a moment where Piccolo is telling Gohan, at least you're not as weak, and Gohan's laughing, and then he says something nice to Piccolo, and Piccolo gets all angry again. But watching that develop is lovely. And when everybody's there, first when Krillin comes, you guys know Krillin is my boy. I am Krillin's #1 fan, and how strong he is. And when those cultivars, when they come and we see Tenshinhan and how strong he's gotten, and he just destroys one. But the Yamcha of it all, right? Oh, Yamcha's he just deserved better, man. He did. He was doing great. He was. But gosh, and technically he did beat that thing. But that thing, the cultivar, which is willing to self-destruct and kill himself, and Yamcha was gone. I didn't think he was going to be gone. I didn't. I think I'm still a bit in denial, But knowing that a piece of him was trying to protect Krillin because Krillin already has died and can't come back. Oh, my heart. But what it does to Krillin, seeing it again, because when I'm first reading, I'm obviously emotional because of Yamcha passing away. Plus, I'm just, again, trying to see what happens next. But this time, I really got to see Krillin lock the heck in and just go insane and get most of those cultivars. And that Piccolo moment will never not be great. It will never not be great. When Piccolo, whenever Krillin does that, he annihilates these people. He even gets a blast on Nappa and Vegeta. They're just ridiculously strong. But he gets everybody, but one of them escapes the cultivars. And little cute Gohan's like, oh, Krillin, that was great. And the cultivar is about to get him. And Piccolo's like, no, not today and not ever. He grabs the thing and he's like, die. And he like throws it, then explodes it. And everybody's just like, that is Piccolo. He's just so cool. So I was really proud and happy and sad. A lot of emotions going on there, right? And of course, we're not done. Nappa's like, all right, I'm going to just take you all out. And he gets all strong. And we kind of end there where it's like, what is he going to do? But I am so proud of our boys. And I want Goku to be there ASAP. But I am glad they got to kind of shine on their own, even though it is detrimental. And I hope Goku doesn't blame himself. And Krillin, I got to say, I love this detail. 2 details where we have Bulma like saying, Goku, hurry, because Master Roshi and her, and oh my gosh, we have Oolong and Yamcha's cat. Oh my gosh. But we see them like processing, okay, because Bulma's like, we need to go. And Master Roshi's like, we are going to probably be more of a distraction. But we see her say, Goku, hurry. And I love this panel of her saying that and Goku being like, I'm coming. You know, it started with those two. So to see that, it's sad, but great. And then when we see Krillin with Yamcha, I love that he's the one to run to Yamcha because he's one of the day ones, you know? So to see them do that and have that ode. And then Krillin saying, oh, what's going to happen with Yamcha's cat and Bulma? Even though I think Bulma and Yamcha have broken up because Krillin even makes a joke about it later or before. And she talks about it when we first see her. But still, this was our team. These are our people. It sucks. But it's also so amazing, you know? So I'm trying to stick on the amazing side, stay there. Was there anything else I wanted to say? I mean, there are a million things I want to say and I just can't get it all out, but that's a big portion of it. Stressed out. I'm always going to be stressed out, I think, in this Dragon Ball Z world, but I'm so excited. All right, guys, let's do it. I'll talk to you soon. This volume is what you call a toxic manga relationship. I have never had a volume that caused me so much emotional turmoil and at the same time made me feel like I could take over the world. Maybe my favorite volume in Dragon Ball. However, this ruined me. Piccolo, I don't think I will ever recover from that speech you gave Gohan. All our family, our Dragon Ball family, just perishing away. Clearly not all, because Krillin's here. Oh, if Krillin was gone, you wouldn't be seeing me here. But seeing so many of our people go, then we have Goku just come in and bring me not just literally the coolest moment, but bring me a piece of peace and this feeling of I can keep going. I will keep going. Phenomenal. But I also hate it. Okay, so in this volume, we see so many people die. We see Chaozu die in the saddest, greatest way. Again, like, what is this? Tenshinhan, saddest, greatest way. Piccolo, I'm distraught. Amazing, greatest way. Okay, then Goku finally shows up, and it is, in fact, the best moment. You know what's weird rereading this because I knew it was going to happen? Again, like the first volume, it was borderline worse, but also it was so weird because it's like magic. I'm reading this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a lot to say that I didn't say in my shorts. But then it's weird because Goku showing up changes your whole brain chemistry because it's like I was literally in a state of I can't get back up. And then Goku comes and I don't know, it's so weird. It's like my brain shifted and I forgot everything. But obviously I don't because my heart cannot forget. So anyway, Goku comes up and he's about to fight Vegeta. Okay, we start the fight. So it is this weird journey that we're going on that you have to buckle up for because it is not easy. Rereading it, still cried, still was a mess, but wow, did I really realize how phenomenal this is. I want to point out that we had two wonderful trios for different reasons, and boy, do I wish it would have just been a group of four. Well, everybody, but we have Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin, and their dynamic is phenomenal. But then we have this shift and more like a reunion of Goku, Krillin, and Gohan. Seeing Krillin and Goku best friends, and now Krillin with Gohan, and then Krillin and Piccolo were enemies along with Goku, but now fighting together. And then seeing Gohan with his dad after losing the guy who trained him and was there for him and saved him, who started off as his non-enemy. And then Krillin, who is Goku's best friend. Oh my gosh, it's a lot and it's so good. But I gotta say, Tenshinhan and Chaozu, it hurt the first time, but it really didn't hit me that that Chaozu literally blew up. Seeing Tenshinhan's pain, seeing Chaozu's pain, those two are like Goku and Krillin. I've said that before. So to see him, the way he spoke to Tenshinhan, through their thoughts, and I really knew it when Nappa and Vegeta, words. No, there is not a word that can describe how much I can't stand you two, but especially Vegeta. And I'm going to get into that because a lot of you are like, oh, you're going to like it. No, I will not. But yes, Tenshinhan having to see his friend who we know cannot come back because he already came back is terrible. Then Tenshinhan, he is so broken and uses his last bit of energy to try. And both of them still can't take out Nappa. And Nappa has so many smart, ignorant things to say, like, oh, they wasted their life. Oh, don't let me think about it because I get so mad. But you know who didn't make me mad about that was Piccolo. When Chaozu sacrificed himself, he always knows what to say, or he did when he was here. Oh, it's a lot. But when Chaozu does that, he's like, you gain my respect, sacrificing yourself. I'm like, yes, Chaozu. But those two, the way they had to go out, I hate it. And Krillin too, like Krillin having to see all these people, because Piccolo's there, obviously, but Krillin has been with these guys for a while. He's known Yamcha and everybody, and to see them just go out, then he has to see Piccolo. It's horrible, but I also love seeing them go and fight together. And I know there's a moment, okay, where Gohan, he's scared, but you know what? I kind of love it. And I really liked it more on the reread. Of course, there's a part of you that's like, listen to Piccolo. All of these characters can do a lot by listening to Piccolo, because when Goku's not here, he is the Goku. And not only that, to me, he's a little bit more of a leader in the sense of Piccolo is just more structured, more sound, more solid. Goku is solid, don't get me wrong, but there's something about Piccolo that just screams leader. And he'll tell even Goku when it came to Raditz, which I get the whole situation, but he was like, Goku, listen, Tenshinhan, listen, Krillin, listen, Gohan, listen, listen to Piccolo. However, I understand why Gohan is scared. He is 4, maybe 5 now. And even if his age wasn't a part of this, I think it's nice to see somebody who, we get it with Krillin, which is something I love about Krillin. He is very vulnerable, but Gohan is really like, I am scared in this moment. There is nothing that is going to make this just switch on, because this is me and I have fear and I have a big heart and I have all these things. So I really like it. Of course, it doesn't help the situation, right? And I Piccolo, the way he gets upset when Gohan apologizes, which is so sweet of Gohan. And then Krillin's like, be easy on him. It's his first fight. But I get both of their sides. But obviously, Gohan, I just think that's great to have in a fight where you have so many strong people, right? And they all overcome. And Gohan does get a good hit in at one point. But to see that happening in real time, I don't know. I thought it was really good for the story and just realistic, Going to Vegeta and Nappa. Yeah. So here's the thing. This is why I will never like them. Yes, with Piccolo, I said that. Okay, I admit it. And now I love him, and now I'm crying over him, and I'll never be the same. But Piccolo had a way with words, right? He was tactful in his insults. He may say, you peasant, I am better than you, and I always will be better than you. And I'm like, okay, don't love it when you're going against my people, but also you're kind of cool. He's cool with it. Nappa and Vegeta are just cruel and ugly in their words, and I don't like Vegeta's hair. And so then you have them not only being, fighters and trying to kill us, but also I would even try to understand them, just like I said with Raditz, when it comes to the fact that, yeah, they clearly have been in some area where they're told that they are these Saiyans and they fight and they kill and they will kill each other because it's about fighting and war and all of that. That comes first, and their planet was blown up. I'm sure they're going through it. But it's their extra little comments, okay? It's the telling Tenshinhan, you fought like a man and died like a dog. It's telling Nappa, you know what, he was gonna let them wait till Goku gets there, but actually let's go ahead and wait till Goku comes, or no, kill them before Goku comes so he can see his friends and son dead. Okay, Vegeta is a cruel mastermind and he is over this, and Nappa is an idiot and I can't stand him, and he's just strong and mean and cruel, and his comments are just so out of line. He says a lot of stuff where I'm just like so no, we will not be cool. I will not like them. And it's just what it is. I don't vibe with that. They're not cool enough to act like that. Okay. Now, obviously, though, they are putting up a fight. They are putting up a crazy fight. And there are so many moments where before Goku gets there, first of all, the Goku of it all is so great. The anxiety, the stress. We have Kami-sama like, Goku, where are you? There's a point where Krillin's like, Goku, please, and everybody's dying, and there's so much happening with waiting for him to come. So that's this story I always say is so good at like giving us so many things within the thing, so many little storylines within the storyline. There is this sequence of events, even though it leads to utter tragedy of Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan. Piccolo has one more thing up his sleeve because Piccolo I'm telling you, he is just such a great leader. He tells them there's one more thing. We have the tail. We can get Nappa's tail and then try to do do one final big move or whatever. And Gohan's like, I'm going to do it too. Don't worry, I got this. And Piccolo's like, you better. The world depends on you. He's so Piccolo. They think they have it, but of course, Nappa and Vegeta, they have trained their tails to not be able to, be hurt or harmed or let it affect them greatly at the very least. And Nappa gets a hit on Piccolo, a bad one where he's injured. And then, but it leads to the Krillin moments. Gohan is attacked by Nappa. And when Krillin sees that, which the fact that a lot of Krillin and Piccolo's really big moments are after them protecting Gohan just adds another layer of emotional beauty, pain. And for Krillin, he's also seen his friends die. He's seen so much. Now we see in Goku's son being hit, and Krillin, the way he just goes and attacks Nappa, and not only is he attacking, he is doing it. I don't even think Nappa gets a hit on him during that little sequence. And the panels are so good, and he's about to do this cool move that'll just take out Nappa. And then Vegeta tells Nappa to watch out or look out or something. And I'm just like, the little thing Krillin shot at Nappa, it ends up hitting like a mountain or something. But you can see if that would have hit Nappa, it is done. So I was so proud of him. But then of course Nappa kind of gets to do this blow, and I think Krillin still kind of dodges it, but I can't tell if it's the effects that hit him or what, but he's kind of down. Piccolo's down, except he's not, because there's a moment where we think that it's done again, and Piccolo gets a hit. He gets a hit on Nappa, and it's just like Piccolo is still up. And I have to find that line actually, because I love when Piccolo says this. Nappa says, "It can't be, you're tougher than you look." And then Piccolo says, "The earth doesn't go down easily." I just love it. No, it doesn't. And then it's just, and this is the highs and lows of this freaking volume, we see that Goku, now I have it in front of me, so hopefully I don't just keep yapping about the same text, but I just can't help it. It's so good. We see that Piccolo realizes there's this energy. It's Goku coming, and we're this close. That is what is so, on the reread, just utterly painful, is that Goku was right there. By the way, I love when Goku finally makes it to Kami-sama and we get to see the Hermit Master and he gives him the beans. It's so just a little bit of OG Dragon Ball in there, but also just Goku's great. But yeah, so he's almost there, and Piccolo, you can see he's all charged up, and Gohan too. And I love too when they insult Goku at any moment. Gohan's like, "Don't talk about my daddy," and Piccolo's like, You're gonna wish you didn't say that, because Goku, don't ever underestimate him. It's great. And then we see Goku coming, and the power, it's at 5,000, okay? And it's just, we're doing it. And Gohan tells Piccolo, because Piccolo was still injured, despite how much, he got up and everything. And Gohan tells Piccolo, you just let me do this until daddy gets here, so, because you're hurt. And I'm like, Gohan, his courage is coming up. Like he's getting less scared, and he wants to protect Piccolo. And then he gets a hit on Nappa. And what's so cool about this is that you can see that just that one hit from Gohan, I'm hoping I'm saying these names right, because I may be mixing up names, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this one hit really hits Nappa pretty hard, and it makes him angry. Like his injuries, it's a good hit. It's a good hit. But then it leads to one of the coolest, saddest, best moments. He is going to attack Gohan, and he does this crazy move, and it looks like Gohan's going to get hit. But you know why he doesn't? Piccolo jumps in, takes this blow full on. He takes the blow full on. And after that, the tears just stream. They just stream down my face. And watching, thinking of where these two started, of Piccolo throwing Gohan in the water and telling him he's got the fin for himself and being mad at him, till you slowly see them kind of getting along after the first 6 months. Gohan's always been sweet, but now he's saving him, telling Gohan not to die. I can't go through the speech. I did a short on it. I'm going to tell you about how much it just broke me. It was so beautiful. But I will start crying, and I've done that enough. Seeing Gohan go to, in the midst of him, he could get killed, but he's just so shocked that Piccolo saved him, and he's asking him, "Why did you save me?" And he goes up to him, and Piccolo just saying, "You're the first one to really listen to me and see me, and you weren't that bad." I can't do it. and telling him to stay alive. And what it does to Gohan, the way he cries out, but then he does his attack. Oh, and you know what? It would be really, really hard to continue if Toriyama wouldn't have made this so wonderfully terrible, because after that, Gohan does go crazy and he does Piccolo's move. Oh my goodness. It hurts. It hurts, but it's so amazing. And while he does do it, Nappa blocks it and it just looks like it's over. And he tells Piccolo, I'm sorry. And then he's about to get stomped. Like, why does Nappa want to stomp the kid? He's a kid. Like, at the very least, I just hate him. But then when you think you can't take it anymore, we see Goku's cloud and it takes Gohan. And we realize Goku's there. We see Krillin say Goku, which I kind of love that he's the first one to say his name. I don't know what that's about, but I just really like it. And we see images of Goku. And I've said this in the short, but I love how we don't see him right away. We see his flying Nimbus. We see I think it's just the back of him. Yeah. And then we see Krillin say that and Gohan smile. And there is Goku. I am getting him framed because this was incredible. The way you feel safe. You don't even know what's going to happen, but he just is that. The way he saved his son. Oh, and then as it goes on, it's just better and better. He ignores Nappa and Vegeta as they're just yapping, and he just cares about seeing his friends and who's alive and who's dead, and going to his son and saying, come here, Gohan, and giving him and Krillin the bean and the reunion between all of them. And the sweetness of Goku addressing Krillin and telling them both they look stronger. And Krillin saying, I'm sorry, I couldn't save them. And Krillin, you fought so hard. You did. And when Gohan told Goku that Piccolo saved him, but Goku's face, he'll be so sweet and kind, but you can tell he's a different kind of angry. And I think the name of this chapter was so fitting. I didn't realize it until the reread, but it says the quiet wrath of Son Goku. And you can really see that as he's reuniting with Gohan and Krillin, but also when he gets his anger and he tells them that they need to kind of get out the way. And he's happy then, but Krillin is worried about him fighting on his own because Goku says, I'm going to take them both on. And it's oh my gosh. But also I'm worried Krillin, but when Krillin can sense Goku's anger, because he seems so happy to see them, but also he's oh, you killed my people, you tried to kill my son, you killed Piccolo, all right, let's go. Krillin kind of taking Gohan and saying, all right, we got to move, and I just love it. And Goku's strength is so apparent, and there's just moments where I love when he just ignores Nappa, and when he finally starts to fight him, he just made Nappa look like a complete and utter joke. It was so great when he stood on his head. I said this in my short. It reminds me of him at the tournament standing on this other man's head. And Nappa just getting furious. It was great. Nappa he's so arrogant. Goku really puts him in his place. And when he's screaming, I'll destroy you. And Goku says, you talk a lot, but you don't back it up. Yeah. And he goes on to just be great. And when he goes, this is for Tenshin Han, Chaozu, Piccolo, Yamcha. I kind of loved him ending it on Piccolo. And this is for Piccolo. It's just the order that he did it. I'm guessing Toriyama did it intentionally. Now, obviously, they're all worth something. He did it for Chaozu. He did it for everybody. But I don't know, the way it was done was great. And seeing just how much stronger Goku is. And he's doing so well that Vegeta's just Nappa, I'm going to take over. And we get to see even more of what Goku can do in the coolest moment, because then Nappa's so mad. He's I am going to take out Gohan and Krillin if I can't get Goku. And what's great about this, but also not great, is that Goku gets to do the Kaioken. Okay, we get to see this whole cool, he trained with the Lord of Worlds and just got so much out of it. It's insane, but it's so fast, and the way it uses the heartbeat and all of that, and he can grab them fast and save them. Well, he grabs Nappa, he can get Nappa, and he just tosses him. He just tosses him to Vegeta, and he says he won't be fighting anymore. Take him home and stay there. Yes, Goku. But this makes me nervous because I misunderstood what I read when I was first talking about this, but it makes me nervous. I thought he could only use it twice. He can use the little ball thing once, I think. In this one, he can only use up to 2 levels of strength or something bigger than his strength. Okay, I'll just put the panels here. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so he used it already, and I'm just hoping he doesn't, outdo himself, because we see him do it again later. And then Vegeta gets points here only because I hate Nappa. No, I'm not going to give him points. I don't know what I give him, but I'm happy Nappa's gone. And I'm glad Vegeta did it because I don't like Nappa. But the way Vegeta took out Nappa will never not be funny to me. It was just like... Nappa was so confused. I also think, though, it's crazy that they take out their own people. I do. I just think it's like, especially, I don't get it if they need each other. The whole purpose of Raditz coming was to get Goku because they needed more people to help, but then you intentionally kill your person. And I guess to Vegeta, it's like, well, if you can't take out this dude, what do I need you for? But yeah, also teamwork, friends, family, but that is how they are, right? And we also see Goku go and grab, it was so sweet, Krillin and Gohan from this, because Vegeta just destroyed him in a crazy way, destroyed Nappa in a crazy way. And then he's like, okay, y'all need to go to Master Roshi's house. And Krillin's like, okay. And I really saw it. Well, Krillin said it, but I understood it more this time. It's like, we really can't be here because like he saved them in that moment. And he's gonna have to keep worrying about them if they're around. So they're gonna leave. And Gohan's like, oh, but okay, if I have to. It's so sweet. And then, of course, Goku manages to make me even sadder after Krillin tells him that he thinks there's a way he can help with the Dragon Balls. Because I didn't even mention that with Kami-sama dying, which was so... I don't know, him telling bye to Mr. Popo or saying bye to Mr. Popo was... But he also said that he's happy, like... He said something like Piccolo surpassed him. I don't know if he meant in strength or as a person, like being a good person. I think that's what he meant. It was so sweet. But because he's gone, the Dragon Balls, right? But Krillin thinks there's a way he can help. And I'm like, of course you can, Krillin. But then I'm all sad because Krillin says bye to his old friend and shakes his hand. And he's like, I'm sorry we have to leave, but don't die, my old friend. I just can't. And Goku says, no way. And I'm like, oh, Goku, you're just amazing. And then he tells Gohan he's going to take him fishing. Like, what kind of, that is so Goku. Like, in the midst of this insane thing, seeing everybody die, he still manages to just keep going. We're going to go fishing, because I will win and you will be here and we're all going to be here. And Goku, you are the best. And then the way he just locks in when it's time to face Vegeta is just perfect. And they go to a different location because Krillin's like, we don't want to destroy the bodies because Krillin can help us. And when we watch these two fly off, it is just so cool seeing Goku about to take on, which I said this, I think it's going to be my favorite fight. And Vegeta is something, but Goku is also not just something, but the greatest something. And we go to them and they start the fight. And Vegeta, there's going to be a lot to this. I can tell he's giving Goku quite the match, but I love that Goku, instead of just being scared, he acknowledges, hey, this guy is strong and he has to do the Kaioken again. And he's like, oh my gosh, he was able to, did he dodge it? No, he didn't dodge it. Goku got to hit him, but then he went back and hit Goku or kicked him. And then Vegeta says, if that was your best, I'm disappointed. And that made me nervous. But then Goku says, I can't believe him. But in a weird way, I'm starting to get kind of excited. And that's our Goku, man. That's our Goku. Oh, like I said, he just reminds me to always be strong. And what a freaking volume. Piccolo, you broke my heart. I will not be the same because of it. Your speech destroyed me. But wow. 10 out of 10. Well, guys, we survived. Barely, but we survived. It's interesting because a lot of people were like, I don't know if she's going to like Dragon Ball Z. I can tell you there's not a word. There's never words when it comes to Dragon Ball, but there really, truly not a word to describe how much I'm enjoying this, how impressed I am with Toriyama and this story as a whole. And just the things I've learned and realized and what I'm taking from the story and what I appreciate from the story is incredible. Now, I will say it is so different from a Dragon Ball. It is, but like it works. I don't know how to explain it. I will say though, the progress of Dragon Ball did slightly prepare us because it did get heavier as time went on, but there was still this kind of lightheartedness. This one, the light and the heart's not really doing it. It's a pretty heavy heart, but there are so many elements that make this section of Dragon Ball something special, and I love it. And there is something so beautiful with seeing this team who I have watched grow up and that I've grown to love so much. While it's also terribly painful, it's cool seeing who they've become as people. And yeah, and the new villains, well, don't like them, won't like them, but they're great villains in the grand scheme of villains. So did I say this already? If not, 10 out of 10 so far. All the volumes have their own special greatness to it. Goku has a son. Okay, and I know we know this by now, but it's still so crazy. And I didn't show you the newest member of our little family. Look at this. Look at him. Just this beautiful bald head and all. I love Krillin. Krillin's #1 fan. Don't you forget it. That concludes this video. Until we meet again, go read Volume 4 of Dragon Ball because we'll be covering that very soon because Vegeta versus Goku. I mean, come on. I'm so excited. But also, just protect Goku, Gohan, and Krillin, and I'll be all right. Okay, bye, guys.